What's going on, guys? Going to answer some questions today. I've gotten several people writing in with some questions that they had. Most of these are really ridiculous, so I'm just going to go down the list really quick. Number one, is that an Uzi in the background? Fuck yeah, it is. It came with the house, don't ask. Number two, how do I get bigger / bulk up? What kind of calories do I need to be eating? I've answered this one a bunch of times. Log your calories, figure out exactly how much you're eating. You're not going to get bigger without figuring out exactly what you're eating. Everybody always says they eat a lot, which is total fucking garbage. They don't eat a lot. If they ate a lot, they would be getting bigger and they wouldn't have to write in with their dumb questions. There's a million videos out there on getting bigger, bulking. There's a lot of nutrition, diet, articles, and all this kind of stuff. So don't waste my time with those kind of questions, man. There's a huge wealth of information out there on the internet. I recommend guys like Mark Bell, Paul Carter, Chris Duffin, all these guys have written a billion things based on whatever goals you're looking for. There was another couple questions. Somebody asks, how do you stay motivated to keep training all the time? That's kind of one of those things where you sort of have to figure out what's going to work for you, but I train a lot. I mean, not as much as probably a lot of people out there, but I do train quite a bit. I'm in the gym a lot. I really enjoy working out, so for me, it's harder for me to not work out than it is for me to actually like go to the gym. Some stuff can be difficult. Conditioning can be really hard for me to get motivated to do. If my body feels like I've been beaten with a fucking hammer, it's hard for me to go to training, sometimes jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, whatever. So I usually will do conditioning, weight training, and martial arts training in any given day. So I wind up spending sometimes 3 hours, 4 hours at the gym in a day, which is a lot. One of the ways that I try to do this and to try to keep my motivation to not quit doing stuff is that I try to set big goals, but I try to set them up over the course of a more realistic time frame. So one of the mistakes I used to make when I was younger is I would say, oh, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z, and I'm going to do it for 6 months, or I'm going to do this for a year, or whatever. And it seems like a really long time, and it's really hard to keep yourself on track when you're talking about a great deal of time, especially if you're like me and you have a hard time staying disciplined to like stick with your workout routine through the workout that you're doing, let alone 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 50 weeks on a program. So what I try to do is I try to do these little like weekly affirmations of my goals. And Terrence Mitchell, who if you guys don't follow his blog, check out Mitchell Strength. One of the things that he talks about is these affirmations in some of his shit where he'll write this really motivating stuff and he'll be telling himself shit like, okay, this week I am going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and he kind of repeats it over in his writing in order to keep himself on track over the course of like a week. Greg Walsh from Wolf Brigade had a really good post talking about what you ought to try to do is at the end of the week you should look at and figure out how you were better than you were at the beginning of the week. And so one of the things that I've started doing is breaking down a lot of my shit over the course of a week. So what I'll say is, all right, I am going to make sure that by Friday I can do this better than I did it on Monday, or I'm going to say, I'm going to be consistent with my fucking diet just this fucking week, or my training or whatever it is, because when you break it down into those shorter bite-sized pieces of doing it for a week, you're not thinking about 48 weeks of doing something. You're thinking, I have to do this from Monday through Sunday, and that's where I have to go. So, for me, I like to have a carrot in front of me, kind of. What I mean is, like, I just signed up for this jiu-jitsu tournament. I'm training pretty hard right now because I don't want to go in there and get snapped up by some fucking pencil neck. Now, if I do, that's good because, it'll teach me that I need to be training harder. If I win, that's good because it will show me that I am training hard and that my training is functional. But what it does is it keeps something in front of me that makes me say, okay, like, no, I'm not going to fuck off and go drink beer tonight. I'm going to go train instead because I got this tournament in 2 weeks. As soon as this tournament's over, I'm going to sign up for another one. Or you can reward yourself with different shit. But really, excellence should be its own reward. You need to be considering, how are you improving every single week? Are you better on Saturday than you were on Monday? Because if you go all through the week and you're like, man, I'm going to kick so much ass for the next 3 months, and then every weekend you're still doing the same dumb shit that you always do, Friday comes along and you fuck up your diet by drinking, 7 beers, you instead of using your cheat window, you cheat all day. You know, you don't go to training because you were too sore, you were too tired. You didn't do your conditioning because you really didn't feel like it, or your shoulder was bothering you, or your wrist hurt, or whatever other pussy excuse you had this week. Glory is its own reward. So every week that you get started, you know, on Sunday, write down what you're going to do that week and how you're going to make yourself better than you were right then when you're fucking writing it. You know, we talk about this a lot, but think about the shit about yourself that you don't like, that you want to change, and you got to set about changing it, but you have to set about doing it right fucking now. So next Sunday when you're writing down your goals for this week, it doesn't look just the same as it did. It looks like a continuation. And then go from there and keep on kicking ass, guys. So this week or Sunday when you sit down, make a list. Make a list of every way that you're going to be better the following Sunday than you were the Sunday that you wrote that shit down. And do that shit every week and see what happens after you do that for a month or 8 weeks or 12 weeks. But don't get focused on the future. Just focus on fucking shit up now.